same line as the Baxia, just solely based on the fact that they deal damage based on the opponent's health pool. The Akai as well as Esmeralda both have got pretty tanky side of their health and will be pretty much affected by Karina and Baxia.
I don't understand the Cho ban though.
I mean, thank goodness they banned the Cho.
Yeah, why? What was the reasoning behind banning away the Cho?
Okay, we saw Bambi having quite a good game with that Cho yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
But then I to be honest, I don't like how he plays the Cho. So when we see the Cho ban, I'm like, yes,
get it out of the equation.
Yep. I mean,
but I feel Cho is not a threat right now to Stellark.
Yep.
I don't see the way you can just don't pick the Cho, right? I mean, there is still so much more others to ban. I was just about to emphasize about the Grok, but oh my god, what? No way, no way. What? So it's a Selena support, a Fanny on the jungle, the marksman is gonna be the Melissa,
I mean,
and then what?
I mean, I'm not wrong about a Selena now.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You did predict this in the first game though.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna be shocked. Oh, wow, it's a Fanny pick.
Fanny!
Wow, it's a Fanny pick.
Yeah, and that was smart because they baited out the tank, right?
Yep.
They baited out the tank. A very good Kufra. Kufra would exactly counter that Fanny. But right now, ooh,
Who do they want to burst? Is it
the Fanny,
no,
the Selena.
It's for the Melissa.
Yeah, it's for the Melissa.
Because this way she can actually get close to Melissa. Even the ultimate wouldn't be affecting affecting the Kadita during Rough Waves and Ocean Oddity.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say it now. If Bambi is going on to that Fanny, and if he actually gets an MVP, I'm gonna post a story of me treating him food.
Wow, really? Wait, is he gonna go on the Fanny though?
It might be sync. I don't know.
Oh,
Is this switcheroo?
It's a versatile Stellark.
Oh,
You know, it's a versatile Stellark team.
showing.
You know what I'm looking at right now? This is Mythical Glory 800 rank game.
No, it's just Stellark is putting out to
All the
everyone.
stuff.
It's like, you know what? It's before playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you wanna study us, okay, study. We can play any roles. You can ban us anything.
Yeah. We will show you the switcheroo.
Yeah, we show switcheroo
But the impact will come in if they win.
if they win.
If they win. Yeah. Wow. The plays though. What a switch. Bait and switch. Oh my god. Everyone is so dumbfounded here.
Well,
Yeah, including me.
this will be a fun.
Quite a strong pick because the Fanny can actually split push
Right?
towards the late game, and we can see sync.
Wow.
I say,
yeah,
is
like you
on
said.
that Fanny.
I was waiting for the switch like, wait, is he not switching over to Bambi? Come on, switch it. No, and then the game starts like,
I mean, it's
It's
not
actually
exactly a no in this case, you know. I am very excited to see Sync playing onto this Fanny, but for Swirl as well as QDX Love, they definitely knew that Sync is here, and Sync is trying to do this technically the same thing and the same MO of what they did in the previous game, and that is to be starving out Revival's jungle camps. I
Ooh,
believe
high
that
and
they
dry.
did manage to do what they needed to do, which is to bring one of the crabs down, which is definitely a good consolation. Taking a look at the emblems, nothing too out of the ordinary, I gotta have to say. But looking at the Fanny picking up high and dry with 3 points into damage as well as 3 points into penetration, really just goes to show that this Sync, well,
they're out to kill.
yeah, he's really just out to kill, right? Selena with the movement speed as well as magic penetration. Other than that, I don't think that there's anything else that is out of control, right? Avarice onto Esmeralda to get together with hybrid healing and movement speed.
Exactly, and the jungle emblem here on the side of LY4 on the Akai is going to give you a little bit more clearing speed as compared to that Fanny, but Fanny being Fanny, we're going to see a lot of Fanny plays here, man. Honestly, right now,
Oh,
for
Sync,
revival?
come on!
No,
Oh,
Sync, come
no.
on.
Oh my goodness!
No. Sync.
I mean, it is a croc.
No, it's a warm-up. It's a warm-up thing.
Warm up.
Yeah.
This is what we saw from Bray, I think.
Yes,
like,
yes.
died the first 2 times, and then Bray just like, you know what? Give me some time to farm.
Yeah, give me some time and I'm going to go all ham on this Fanny.
Yep. And Revival understanding what is going to be at stake, and that is the fact that Fanny really needs the bubble buff. But wait, he's already back.
Yeah, he's already back and he already took out Peace. He's like, Oh, they're gonna go for my purple buff next. You know what? I'm just gonna take peace out.
This is what the early game technically we are supposed to be looking at.
Yeah.
Even though Fanny has died, that doesn't mean that he's entirely out of the game just yet. Most of us have got the understanding that if someone is dead, we would be seeing them for at least 15 seconds. But Fanny, with superior mobility, moved himself all the way down to the bottom lane, helping out SmellyCat as well as OhDeerBambi to really bring down the Clint, which is going to be relatively big. Considering the fact that Sync is going to be position 2, as well as the fact that Peace is position 1, they have got a pretty good trade on their hands for Stellark.
Wow. I mean, losing the purple buff and the turtle for a Clint, I feel that's worth, honestly. And then Bambi can just literally babysit and then give all that farm to SmellyCat on that Melissa.
I mean, now that you talked about the purple buff, yes, there is some kind of stalemate in that. Not exactly like super worth, because if you look at it in the longer run, that means that Fanny will not have enough energy for the next 1 minute. Doesn't mean that he can get involved in a lot of fights, which means that this is the point in time where Revival will have a temporary power spike in all of the skirmishes that they put themselves in, which is why you can see LY4, QDX Love, they are congregating themselves down to the bottom lane, trying to back Peace up and find some kills onto either SmellyCat or OhDeerBambi.
Yep, but I feel like it's a 50-50 here. QDX Love.
Some of these rush openings. Other than that, Stellark will have to play things blind.
They are gonna go in blind. I mean, they do not have much heroes, I would say, to, you know, open up the map for them, apart from Chu. But oh, Ryan here taking a little bit too much damage.
4 members from the side of Revival has really found themselves right into our enemy's quadrant, and of course stealing the purple buff away. Fanny once again could not get himself the purple buff second time in a row, as Revival has found himself time and time again going into the opponent's jungle, just getting right into the opponent's faces. Yes, Revival, they don't have a strong power spike into the early game in terms of damage, but they are relatively beefy. Let's not forget that they have a Clint that can come off and pop off in the mid stages of the game to really help things out.
Yeah, that Clint is gonna be a pain in the late game, right? Technically, there's only one item that can counter, or rather crit reduct, which is gonna be that Twilight Armor. But on the second turtle here, it does seem like Stellark do want this second turtle. Can they get it though? The Lord's Dance over onto the side of Revival, giving them that a slight advantage, and Sync not contesting at all.
Yeah,
on the Fanny. They are very far behind already.
Yeah, they're not naturally very far behind, but definitely behind, right? Because we're looking at like 2,000 gold disadvantage coming from Stellark, and this is the point in time whereby Sync has need to get himself back on track. He has to build up his tempo. He has to get himself the kills. He has to get himself the farm. Because naturally, as Fanny, you want to go for kills. But right now, Stellark haven't really found themselves that opportunity to single anyone out and win in fights just yet. And like I said, Stellark's win condition, they have to pick one person off. And the one person usually comes in either as Peace or Swirled.
Yep, and
the Breath of the Ocean, but next down on the Chu, he's going to be locked down together with OhDeerBambi, but unfortunately OhDeerBambi is going to be the first person to be taken down. Chu as well tries to go for the flicker, but that is going to be a wasted flicker, as LY4 does have the heavy spin, completely displaced him in places that he does not expect.
Wow, I thought Chesty would go for that heavy spin, you know, IMU, and literally knock and play that Beyblade fight to knock away that LY4, because LY4, if that heavy spin is activated, Sync essentially could not do anything if he's gonna get locked into the wall right there.
Well, we're gonna have to say they are definitely having some fun here, right?
Yes, they are.
Well, for Sync, he's not exactly having a very good time onto the Fanny. Understandably, because Fanny is very reliant onto the purple buff. We have said that over and over again, and we have and even for Revival, they definitely understand what is at stake. So just starving out this Fanny from all of the purple buff is going to be paramount. And whatever they do, as long as Fanny doesn't have the purple buff, they can get kills just like this. Down in the bottom lane, popping off the heads of OhDeerBambi and moving on to SmellyCat, even as Rough Waves, Ocean Oddity, Breath of the Ocean immediately brings down SmellyCat, allowing them to secure the first tier defense turret.
Ouch, the amount of damage coming out from QDX Love, taking out Bambi also. That's just pain on pain on pain.
Well, right now, Stellark, they're not getting themselves on the right curve.
Yeah.
Revival, they have massive
Sync
amount of control. Sync doesn't have damage, he doesn't have health, he doesn't have purple buff.
Yep, no damage, no health, no positioning at all too. What a wall-placed by QDX Love. That was
Yeah.
very well placed.
Unfortunately, at this point in time, it's very difficult for me to even see an opening for Stellark to actually win the game now. The
Missile
fact
arrow?
that the early game is just gone for them, right? It's very important for Stellark to actually take control of the early game, or even try to get themselves on the stalemate. But the fact is, Stellark, they are not getting themselves the lead. Their Abyssal Trap is not giving them the information. Like I said before, they have to play blind. So Stellark, they are constantly losing out their purple buff. And even if they do have information that Revival is coming in for their purple buff, they don't necessarily have an answer to it other than a Selina's Abyssal Arrow, which most of the time hasn't exactly landed on its prime target.
Not much landing of that Abyssal Arrow as of just yet, but it does seem like Stellark, they literally have their back against the wall right now.
I mean, this is Stellark's proof of concept, right? Are they able to play things like this? Are they able to play things in a way whereby they can be as flexible as they can? But unfortunately, Stellark, it doesn't seem like it is very flexible to a certain extent. They can definitely play that hero, they can definitely play that role, but is it MPL style that we have seen from them? That is always the biggest question. Revival, they have got a good idea that the purple buff is coming up soon, and you can pretty much tell that they are trying to suffocate Stellark of the purple buff time and time again. With a tanky front line from Revival, they just moved right in, no control at all. Chesty is the only way that Chesty can do things is literally popping in with the heavy spin and trying to push everyone else away, but couldn't really quite do much as the rough waves comes in from Swirled. They pop off on the 3-person Chesty, Chew and Sync, left with SmellyCat and OhDeerBambi to fend for themselves.
That oddity hurt even more than the rough waves, man. The amount of power, and it just spiked like, ouch. That was just too much, and the triple kill coming in for Swirl, that was awesome. That was well played. Starving them from the purple buff. I thought Stellark could use that as a bait, right? I thought Stellark was like, you know what? Invade our purple buff, we're just gonna demolish you guys. But then that Kadita is such a pain.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Revival, they are currently on momentum. They are way past the curve and they have a lot of tempo onto themselves. No one in the side of Stellark actually have an answer to the members of Revival. Ryan won't die here, trust me. He really can't die because QDX Love, he will make his way in, even half the sprint. There is no way that Stellark can kill Revival members at this point in time. As such, I think it's relatively safe for us to evaluate, take a look at what is wrong with Stellark's composition now and what is wrong with their gameplay when we have the downtime as we move on, as we prepare ourselves for game number 3.
Wow. Already predicting the game 3, man?
Yeah, dude, this is the point in time whereby we can definitely hope that Stellark comes back into the game. But let's be honest here, 11,000 goal lead coming from Revival. I want to cheer on for the fact, cheer on for Stellark. But in the meantime, I also want to cheer on for the fact that Revival is sticking to their MO. Lose first game, come back revived.
Wow. Okay, and we have the tier 3 turret under attack right now. Chu and LY4 with a heavy spin coming in, zoning everybody off though, but here comes Chu.
I mean, Chesty, he still has his heavy spin. He's still waiting for the perfect time, perfect opportunity to come right in. The rough waves coming in from Swirled did not manage to pop off anyone at this point in time, whereas SmellyCat is still pretty much A-okay, but he doesn't really quite have enough damage to bring everyone down. The one thing that did manage to help is killing QDX Love. As they move themselves onto Ryan, this may be the chance for them to actually kill Ryan because Ryan no longer has the sprint. And indeed, they will...
Oh my god!
You know why? No purple buff.
Yes, exactly. No purple buff, no mana regen there coming up. But LY4 running for SmellyCat here, but misses the S1 though. LY4, that was...
That was close.
That was an escape there from Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan literally got himself out by the skin of his teeth. That was not exactly something that he earned it, but it's more the fact that the team earned it.
Yeah.
You know, for the long run. Just starve out Stellark, make sure that the Fanny does not have the purple buff, and from that point on, what can they do, really?
No, they can't do anything, man.
I mean, at least for Stellark, right? From that team fight and from that defense, they did manage to climb back up by 2,000 gold. And they did manage to keep themselves back into the game by a 9,000 gold deficit. Other than that, yeah, that's pretty much all. They lost the inhibitor turret in the bottom lane too.
Yeah, they did.
So there is a lot of pressure coming from Stellark.
I just did realize something, right? If QDX Love on that Grok if he were to charge up that S1, Abyssal Arrow would be useless.
Yeah, that is one of his biggest main role
Yeah.
coming in from Revival, is the fact that he's the one that soaks the damage.
Yeah.
He's the one that soaks in everything. So
backdoor?
it's kind of, honestly, it's really tough for Revival to actually do any, to be caught up by the Abyssal Arrow. If they get caught up, then it is their mistake. Right now, Revival, with all 4 members coming up to the top lane, they want to bring everyone down. SmellyCat completely out of position, a little bit too late with his ultimate, unfortunately. While 4Sync still doesn't have the purple buff. He cuts in, proxies the lane in the top side just so that the waves would not overextend. The bottom lane has been pushed relatively far by Sync as well. But one thing is for sure, is the fact that Lord will be taken by Revival, and Stellark would not even have an answer for this.
No answer coming up from a Stellark, and SmellyCat was just out of position there. He was literally like, I don't know, what was that? The amount of engage coming out, that was so strong already. LY4 with a heavy spin, pinning Bambi against 4Sync.
Well, at least he did manage to get himself away. Spoke maybe a little bit
can
too
he run?
soon. Rough
Oh,
waves.
the last-
Did not poke.
The last cable. The last cable.
The final one. Just by
A hair.
Yeah, just by a hair, really. Really down the wire. Stellark members, well, they are just waiting for their inevitable doom, right? If only we have AMOUX here to really tell us a little bit more about what has happened to the game right here, right now. But we will have him back in after the game, so don't worry about that. We have a lot of time to talk about it. As now Revival currently 12,000 gold lead ahead of Stellark. Definitely not something that you would expect to see, especially since Revival they have only gotten themselves the good game yesterday.
The Lord knocking on the door though.
I don't think that they will be able to do much coming from the side of Stellark, right? We do have the heavy spin that's just going to be pushing Sync over to the wall, brings him down immediately. One of the best counters coming in from the side of Revival to take care of the Fanny. SmellyCat completely melted down. QDX Love is just tanking onto the core, but not like it's going to be that big of a problem because, well, Revival, they know they've got a game.
The flicker and the wow charge though from QDX Love to melt down SmellyCat.